सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We are in the middle of a grown-up version of Atmajnana discussion. No more is there a reference to some Atma that is out there, which is described as, which can be out there for all practical purposes, which is described as not subject to be burnt, not subject to rebirth, not subject to destruction, not subject to action, doership, experiencership, this ship, that ship, it's free of everything. That was necessary then to at least conceptually understand that there is a difference between I, which is in the beginning considered as what? The sum total of the body, mind, sense complex, and something else which is the I, which is described as I in the Shastra, that has to be known and assimilated. Now that same Atmajnanam is given another round with making it more personalized and making it more from the sense of an assimilated reality rather than something out there that I have to first memorize, grasp and hope to understand. And so that is the section. First we saw that this is the first Karma Yoga was described, and then this is the section from verses 13 to 17. Atmajnanam is going to be described, is being described. And 13 to 17 we decided who is this person and who is this, what is this Karma Yoga from the standpoint of Karma Yogi. That's what we saw. And then here Jnanam also from the standpoint of either the one who is a Jnani or the one who wants to be a Jnani. That is what we are seeing right now. And in the 15th chapter, in the 14th and 15th verses, we saw a very basic thing, that what we call action ensues forth from 5 hetus. Hetu means what? Causes. 5-fold are the causes of action, or what we call sources of action. What are they? Read and tell one by one. Adhishthana, that which is near the Ganga, correct? No. Adhishthana here means Annamaya Kosha, aka physical body. Then that is the first one. Second one, Karta. Karta, the sense of doer. Next, Karana. Karana in the sense of all kinds of instruments. What are the instruments? Jnanendriyani, Karmendriyani, etc., etc. And then Kriya, action. No. Kriya means vividhaha prithak bhavaha, meaning all other accoutrements such as pranamaya, manomaya, vijnanamaya, all of them are included here. And then finally what? Daivam. You can take it as God, no problem. But here it has also a specific thing as Adhishthana Devata, that is connected to each Indriya. Where did we find this list? We didn't study Sankhya. Tattva Bodha gives a list of each Devata and each Indriya it connects. That is what. So we can take it like that, Adhishthana Devata, because of which everything is. I know that was in the last Janma. It's very far away. It's hard to recall. That was the first text we studied. And it's not connected with anything else, yes. But actually it is a foundational text which should be the background for everything. But other than Acharya Swamiji, nobody else has it memorized. Okay, so we don't need to feel bad about it. So then we have the Adhishthana Devata of each organ and each Karanas, the Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas. So that is also called Daivam. But where does that draw its essence from? Those Devatas are not independent. Where do they draw essence from? Ishvara. That is also Daivam. Okay, so these are the factors. Now, if Tattva Bodha was already studied and happily forgotten, why are we being reminded of it here? Karanam, Karta, etc. Why are we back into Vedanta baby talk? Goo, goo, gaga. Why do we need this? Simply because when we talk about who is the Karta, these are the factors of action, these 5 factors, not Atma. Who is Atma? I. To distinguish this, these 5 have been listed. Very ingenious mechanism on part of Bhagavan to list them suddenly so that it's not the I. And so therefore, the 15th verse elaborated as we saw yesterday. Shariraman manobhihi yat karma prarabhate naraha. So with the body mind sense complex, whatever is set into motion by the human being, what kind of actions? Dharmik, nyayam, or otherwise? If it's not dharmik, then it is? Wake up. Adharmik. Only 2 possibilities. Viparitam means opposite of dharmik. Adharmik. Nyayam va viparitam va. Then pancha ete hetavaha. This is the cause. It's not the person. The Atma is not the cause. This even an 8-year-old child is told during the thread ceremony. Nahankarta, nahankarayita. I am not the doer. I am not the one that causes anything to be done. Oh, then who is the doer if you didn't do it? Kamaha akarshit. Kama made me do it. Manyuhu akarshit. Anger made me do it. Desire made me do it. Kamah karta nahankarta. Kamah karayita nahankarayita. Tasmai kamaya namo namaha. Because I have no say over this kama, which is making me do all kinds of wrong things at the wrong times, in the wrong places. So namaha to this anger, namaha to this kama, from where all actions ensue. The 8-year-old is told, the 9-year-old is told, the child is told, you are not the Karta. It is built into this Vedanta, is built into the culture and all the other things in the culture. It's very beautiful. So then, apancha ete tasya hetavaha. Then, tatra evam sati, if that is the case, kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yaha pashyati akrita buddhitvat na akrita buddhitvat nasa pashyati durmatihi. 2 kinds of scenarios are given. And what is the first scenario? The first scenario is that evam sati, this being the case, this setup being the case. What setup? These 5-fold things are the Karta, not I. Atma is not the Karta. Then the one who sees the Atma as the non-agent. Atma means what? Oneself. As the non-agent, and sees these factors in action as the agent and the doership as though attributed to these 5 factors of action which we have been discussing. That person pashyati, sees. Sees means understands. You don't see the Atma. because then it is contradicted. As soon as you say sees, it is contradicted by the Kenopanishad. Na tatra chakshur gacchati na vag gacchati no manaha. No means no. Na vidmo na vijanimaha. Like this. So it's not available. It's not an object for the eyes, ears, etc. And so the one who knows this, saha pashyati, that person is the one who is a jnani. But then kevalam atmanam, this atma which is kevala. Kevala means without a second. Non-dual is called kevala. That which is without a second, no second thing is there. If Atma looks around, no friend, no foe, no enemy, no friend, nothing. Oh, then Atma must be very lonely. Atma is not lonely. What is Atma? L silent, only. Onliness is not loneliness. Onliness is fullness. Onliness is limitlessness. Loneliness is a sense of not belonging to anything, is a sense of incompleteness. And so here, this Atma, which is full of itself, which is the only thing that there is, which is I, the one who cannot see that is called Durmatihi. Mati means mind here, Buddhi. What kind of Buddhi? Bad Buddhi. Yeah, Durmatihi literally means bad Buddhi. We don't have to use the word bad. Immature Buddhi, which has not gone through the fires of emotional maturity. The Agni Pariksha of emotional maturity has not been done. So the fires of emotional maturity, where one has gone through difficult situations. Everybody goes through difficult situations. There's not a big deal in that. But what one has made of those difficult situations and emerged as a result of, like gold, the ore. Ore means gold mixed with a lot of other metals and impurities. You put it in the, where do you put it? You put it in the hot fire. Then when you put it in the fire, what happens? All the impurities melt away. They all go away, leaving pure molten gold. So similarly, when the human being is as though in the fire of difficult challenges, difficult experiences, they are all there, and they are all potential teachers if we take them to be that way. If we take them to be teachers, they purify us, they teach us, they grow us up, and they get rid of all the impurities in the form of raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, moha, lobha, mada, and matsarya. Mada, matsarya, pride, jealousy. Lobha, moha, avarice and delusion. Kama, krodha, excessive desires, and what is krodha? Anger. So it frees us of all of that. If we go through the process without taking it personally and with a readiness to grow, then there is freedom. And even if the situation doesn't change, I have grown out of the situation. It's just so beautiful. I have grown out of the situation. Is this person annoying? Yes. But they have stopped annoying me. The person may continue to be annoying, but I have grown out of that particular situation. And I can look upon the person more objectively and say, yes, they have some annoying habits, but it is not bothering me. At least my accommodativeness, my commodiousness has increased. Whereas I could only spend 2 seconds in their company. Now I am able to be with them for a whole hour before something happens and I have to run away. But at least that endurance, that fortitude, so many things come as a result of being ready to be transformed by the difficulties. That's how one grows. That's how one comes to Atmajnanam. That's how one becomes a Jnani. That's how one quote unquote sees the Atma, which is without a second, Kevalaha. Then Pashyati. But then Akrita Buddhitvat na Pashyati. Na Pashyati. Na Sapashyati Durmatihi. And then what? On the other hand, the immature person whose thinking is still mired in subjectivity, that is Durmati. Not that anybody has bad buddhi. Bad means I don't have a buddhi that is able to see the world, myself, the world, and Ishvara, God, objectively. My vision is mired in subjectivity, so that sometimes I even deny myself what I need the most, what nurtures me the most. I deny myself, and so therefore nasapashyati durmatihi. This is the 16th verse. Then the 17th verse further says that glorifies the knower of this knowledge. Yasya naham krito bhavaha. Yasya naham krito bhavaha. Buddhiryasya na lipyate. Buddhiryasya na lipyate. Hatvapi sa imal lokan. Hatvapi sa imal lokan. Hanti na sa nibadhyate. Hanti na sa nibadhyate. Oh, okay. Hantina nibadhyate. Hantina nibadhyate. So, yasya na ahankrita bhavaha. In whose heart there is no doership. That person na nibadhyate, is not bound. In what? Tied up and bound in all kinds of notions. And then buddhihi tasya yasya na lipyate. The mind is not affected by what? By whatever one does. The mind is free. The person knows this is the body, mind, sense complex doing its duty or doing whatever needs to be done. And then such a person is not affected. When even if the person kills the entire population of the earth, hatva api iman lokan. Iman lokan is unspecified numbers of people. Loka means a whole universe of people. Hatva api, even having offed them, na nibadhyate, is not bound by bad karma phala. How is this possible? We'll take a little walk to the Kaushitaki Upanishad. Very beautiful Upanishad. The Kaushitaki Upanishad is a dialogue between Indra, who features in numerous Upanishads, usually as a student, but here Indra is the Acharya of the Upanishad. He is the teacher. And then who is the student? A very noble and dharmic king called Pratardana, who dies off, gives up his body and goes to heaven, Indraloka, where Indra is the reigning lord. And he has so much punya that Indra himself goes to the gates of heaven to receive him. Otherwise, usually some minions, some sevaks can go and put some flower petals and bring them in. Ehi ti samahuya, suvarchasaha. Through the good karmas, turn into flower petals and bring this yajamana along, and then priyam vacham abhivadantyah, keeping on praising their good deeds, take them to a little bungalow in heaven and leave them there and say, we'll give you a tour tomorrow, which includes chai and selfie with Indra. So we could imagine this would be the thing for most of the people going to heaven. But he had so much punya and he had given up his life in the line of duty, and he had done so much for his praja, for his people, that Indra himself went to receive him. And Indra said, we have not known a king like you. The whole earth has not known a king of your caliber. I am very pleased with you. It's sounding like the Kathopanishad. Therefore, ask me for a boon. Ask me for a boon, says Indra. And then Pratardhana could have asked anything. Pratardhana could have said, I think I'd like to have your chair. Vacate. He could have been the next Indra, and Indra would be powerless, bound by his words. Indra would have had to vacate his throne immediately. But he doesn't ask for that. He doesn't ask for wealth, power, nothing. He asks instead, in fact, he thinks about it and he says, he thinks that I really don't know what to ask. And I don't want to waste this boon. This is a very wonderful boon. And if I ask for the wrong thing, it's like Bhagavan manifests in front of you and you say, can I have a pumpkin? And it's a wasted boon. This is what happened to Ravana's younger brother. What was his name? Kumbhakarna. He had no interest in anything spiritual. Ravana drags him. I have done so much tapas. Lord Shiva is going to manifest. Come on. Lord Shiva is manifesting. Come, ask for a boon. He says, he's rubbing his eyes. Very tamasic, embodiment of tamas. What should I ask? I don't know what to ask. Ask for Nitya. Repeat it, Nitya. Nitya means immortality, eternity. Nitya. Then Lord Shiva comes, even before his boon, he pushes him forward. Ask. Oh, both of you are here. Who is this? Oh, my brother Kumbhakarna. This fellow was huge. And then says, what would you like? He forgets and says Nidra instead of Nitya. And he just falls down asleep. Lord Shiva says Tathastu, and he falls down asleep in the shape of a small hill, mountain. Ravana is very cross. Ravana said, look at what you've done. How am I going to take him back? Back to Sri Lanka. How am I going to drag him? He's like a hillock. He's huge. Take the boon back. He says, I can't take it back. Once given, I can't take it back. What can I do? Mitigate it a little bit. He'll be like a bear. 6 months awake, 6 months asleep. And Ravana is very angry because his boon he had to waste to say, make the 6 months awake now, because they have to go back. So that is how the boons get wasted. If it is in the wrong hands, in the wrong mind. We have many such stories. This is the one that I could just offhand think of. Pratardhana does not want to make the mistake. He says, I don't know what is the best thing for me. Whatever you think is the best thing for you. He doesn't say, whatever you think is the best thing for me. No. He says, whatever you would choose for yourself. If some other deity or Bhagavan himself came to ask you or give you this boon and ask you for what you wanted, what you would choose, you choose that for me. That is how he says, okay, Atmajnanam is what is to be chosen. This is what I would choose. And the teaching begins. And then he says, after giving him the knowledge, he says, even if the person is matravadhaha, pitravadhaha, means the one who commits, what's it in English? Matricide. And then other one, patricide. Patricide kills the own mother, kills the own father, not even a hair on the head turns, meaning no change in that person, no effect, no karma. But this is not a license to kill. This is not James Bond, license to kill. This is not something like that. What is this? This shows that this so-called killing would be done even if the person would kill their own father. That means the father must be somebody like Hiranyakashipu or Ravana or somebody like that. who's terrorizing the whole world. And so the person is actually getting rid of a menace. Otherwise, this kind of a killing is impossible. So here also, the same sentiment is expressed here. Aham kriti is not there. I am the karta is not there. And therefore the buddhi is not caught when even while killing the people, neither do these people kill, nor are they bound by the karma phala of killing. Now what is the correlation in the second chapter? Hanti, nahanyate. Is not the Atma. There again we saw it impersonally. See the difference. Do you see here it's much more beautifully contrasted. Ya enam vetti hantaram, yaschainam manyate hatam, ubhav tauna vijanitah, nayam hanti nahanyate. Najayate, namriyate. And again it was all in the third person. Nahanti, nahanyate. It was all in the third person, and it was some Atma that I definitely wanted to know, but I didn't have an idea about that. It was really me. Here it is not talked about as Atma, but connected to the person, the knower of the Atma, who is non-separate from the Atma. Same thing. The correlates would be the exact same verse which was just chanted. You can write down the number. I don't remember the number of that verse offhand. 216, 17, something like that it will be. Which verse is that? Yeah, you can look it up. 17? 19, yeah, somewhere in there. So you can do that. So with this verse, the synopsis of Atmajnanam from the standpoint of the person wielding the Atmajnanam, who has become Atmajnani, who has become non-separate from the Atmajnanam, which was described in very sterile third-person terms earlier, is the owner of this knowledge, is non-separate from this knowledge. This particular topic is now concluded. Then the next topic is introduced in verse number 17, and it's kind of hard to tell what that topic is about, but anyhow you will know. And then from 18th to the 40th verse, there are about 7 things that are discussed, and that is introduced in verses 17 and 18. And these 7 things are discussed from 3 standpoints. What are the 3 standpoints? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So these 7 things are, and then what those things are, the Gita herself will tell. So we don't have to, we will discuss them when the Gita herself tells. Next one, next 2 we will chant together, okay? Jnanam jneyam parijñāta, trividha karma chodana, karanam karma karteti, trividha karma sangraha, jnanam karma cha karta cha, tridhaiva guna bhedataha, प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने, यथावत् शृणुतान्यपि. So here a very interesting discussion in the 18th and the 19th verses. So he says, he comes up with a very interesting modality. What are the causes or the factors involved in action? Don't say, I know, those 5 which we just discussed, the body, the mind, etc. No, that was a different modality. Here is a different modality. Here we are again abstracting rather than discussing it from the standpoint of the actor. Earlier we discussed the 5 factors of action from the standpoint of an individual actor, whoever she or he may be. Here we are looking generally at what makes one act, and then Lord Vyasa says that's very easy. 2 kinds of tripods, means groups of 3. 2 kinds of tripods are involved in action. And in fact, those tripods are just 2 things which are further divided into 3. What are those 2 things? Knowledge and then karma. Those are the 2 things. And then knowledge is divided into 3, we'll see that. And then action is also divided into 3. So knowledge means janati, because karma cannot ensue forth without there being what? Knowledge. Here we are not talking of satyam jnanam anantam knowledge. What are we talking about? The knowledge of anything. So if I want something, then the object of my want will be known to me. Correct? I can't want something which I don't know about. How can I desire something which I don't even know exists? I have to know it exists. Even to dream about something, I have to know it exists. I want a house. I know that there is such a thing called house. And I know that some other people also have this house. And therefore, I would like to have a house. This is how it is. And so, this is all called jnanam. Here it's not, don't think this is atma jnanam. This is just generally. So, janati. And then what? That jnanam gives rise to desire. Janati, ichhati, desire. Janati, knows. And then ichhati, desires. And yatate, acts. Knows, desires, acts. This is the trajectory. And this is what is involved in every action. And that, so the 2 constituents of every action are knowledge and karma. And so knowledge and karma of every pursuit, knowledge and karma, and then in the 18th verse, the knowledge is divided into 3. Because the word jnanam, very interestingly, this is all Sanskrit. Jnanam has a suffix called lyut. Lyut, and then that lyut gets a substitution, because first of all in lyut, the ta at the end goes away. Bye ta. And then the la in the beginning, due to some other sutras, that also goes away. And then what is left? You. Yeah. You are left. No, you is left. And the you undergoes a change. Yuvoha anakaha ana. You becomes ana. So lyut, the substitution for lyut is what? Ana. Jna plus lyut is equal to jna plus ana. Jna plus ana is what? Jnana. See how easy Sanskrit is? So, jnanam, anam, okay? Because it's a neuter, jnanam. Now, the lyut is very sneaky, not very simple. It is deceptively simple. Then this lyut can be used in the form of the karta. Jnanam means jnana karta. It could mean that. Or jnanam means object of knowledge. Okay? And then jnanam also could mean like shrotram, chakshuhu, instruments of knowledge. Karana. It can be taken as the nominative, karta, it can be taken as the accusative karma, or it can be taken as the third case. What is that? Instrument, karana. Which to take? That all depends upon the context. Contextually, we have to decide. Okay? And so here, we have a so when you say jnanam, knowledge, the word jna, the verb jna, to know, it is what is called a transitive verb. What is a transitive verb? Simply put, a transitive verb, or in Sanskritam it is called sakarmaka dhatu. What does that do? That presupposes the question what? So if I say, I know, you will ask the question, what do you know? What do you know? But if I say, tishtami, I stand. Can you ask me the question, what do you stand? What do you stand on is a different thing. There is no preposition here. What do you know directly? I eat. What do you eat? Sakarmaka dhatu, transitive verb. So here, jnanam, jna is a sakarmaka dhatu. So therefore, knowledge of what? That is what is also involved here. So let us see this verse. With this background, let us look at the verse. So this jnanam is divided into three. Jnanam, okay, and then jneyam, and then parijñāta. Jnata. Jnata, jnanam, jneyam. The pari has been put for padapuranartham, for completing the meter. Because if we had said jnanam, jnanam, jneyam, jnata, it would have been one short, too short. So parijñāta has been put. But for our purposes, we can take the triputi, the tripod, which is jnata, jnanam, jneyam. Here what is jnanam? Because we already have jnata. Who is jnata? First case. The doer, knower, the agent of knowledge, jnata. Then what do we have? Jneyam. Jnana yognyam jneyam. That which is worthy of knowing. That means what? Object. So object is covered, subject is covered. So the word jnanam can only mean here what? Instrument of knowing, pramana. That which connects the jnata with the jneya is called jnanam. The jnanam here is the pramana, the means of knowledge that connects the knower with the known. So these three are there. Jnatam, jnanam, jneyam, parijñāta, trividha, karma chodana. These are the impellers of action. These are the ones that make one do things. Because for every action, these three have to be there. Who has to be there? The knower has to be there. And then the object which is worth pursuing is what? The object of knowledge has to be there. And that which brings together the knower and the object of knowledge, the means of knowledge, how do you know it is there? I saw it, I heard about it, I read about it, I inferred it, whatever the means of knowledge is, that also has to be there. These three are very, very important in the pursuit of karma, in the pursuit of action. And then, so this is on the level of knowledge. The second line does the same thing for the word karma. Karanam. Karanam means the means of doing. Karma, the object of action. And then what? Karta, doer. Same thing. Karta, karma, karanam. First case, second case, third case. Literally. Okay? Same thing in the top line also. Trividhaha karma sangrahaha. Karma sangrahaha means these are the things because of which action takes place. And then, so this is very interesting because he says this is what keeps the world going round. Because the knower then turns into what? desirer, and the desirer has what? Is already a threefold things are there. I, the desirer, object of desire, and the pramana that makes me one with the object of desire. Those three things are there. And when we talk of any action, again we have karta, first case, then karma, object, and then object of action, actor, object of action, and then instruments of action. These are the things that constitute. Then if this much is understood on a very philosophical, epistemological level actually, then we come down to looking at each of these things, not everything, but he's going to choose three things from which we are going to look at each of these things from the standpoint of sattva, rajas and tamas. We chanted this already. Jnanam, karma cha, karta cha. These three we are going to look. Tridha eva guna bhedatah prochyate guna sankhyane yathavat shrinu tan api. Guna sankhyane means in the Sankhya Shastra, in the Sankhya philosophy which deals with gunas. We will take bits and pieces of the Sankhya or any other philosophy that makes sense. Parts of the Sankhya philosophy which make sense, we are not averse to. And so here the Lord says, I am going to discuss three things. What am I going to discuss? Jnanam, knowledge, and then karma. Karma here is not object, action itself, and then karta, the agent. So I am going to discuss what is knowledge, what is the action, and what is the agent. These are the three very important ingredients out of the 6 that we saw in the last verse. And tridha, I am going to split them 3 ways according to how each thing behaves when seen through the lens of the 3 gunas. And where did I get this knowledge from? The knowledge is from the Sankhya Shastra, which deals with the unfolding of how everything behaves according to the gunas. Listen to this, he says. Sarva bhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu Tajnanam vidhi satvikam. Basically, sattvika knowledge. First thing we are looking at is knowledge. Sattvika knowledge is what? In short, it is Atmajnana. That's all. Nothing else. Why? Look at the verse. So, it looks at everything as indivisible. Avibhaktam. Indivisible. Non-dual. Avyayam. Unchanging. In and through all the differences, the Sattvika knowledge, what does it do? It says, in among all beings, sarva bhuteshu yena ekam, by which one thing, by which one thing alone, ekam bhavam. That one change, bhavam means existence, bhava, existence. So, that ekam bhavam, that one existence which pervades many names, many forms. That changeless, nirvikara, existence that is there in many names, many forms, even though it is vibhakteshu, sarvabhuteshu, even though these beings, all these beings looks divided. So many people, so many cultures, so many varieties of food, so many languages, so many habits, so many countries, so many laws. It looks divided. But then the Sattvika knowledge is that which pierces through the mithyatvam of the divisions and sees or assimilates or understands that in all beings there is ekam sat, ekam tattvam. There is only that one principle, one truth, one atma. Even though everything looks divided, that oneness the person is able to enjoy, by which knowledge that knowledge is called Sattvika knowledge. So it's not that which does not deal with the divisions. Divisions are there. So, but division does not become the cause of fear. Division does not become the cause of duality. Division is there. Differences are there. The differences I am not scared of because I am able to see the non-difference in and through the difference of everything. Existence is always unchanging, is always one. In fact, it is the only thing that there is, and then I am not dividing it. And even though it appears to be divided, I do not believe in the divisions. I can appreciate the difference. The difference does not overpower me, does not overwhelm me, because it is ultimately not understood as the only reality. It is an immediate reality. It is a reality to appreciate and enjoy. But the truth of that reality is the underlying and the most desired oneness. And in order to understand this oneness, we don't have to give up the differences. The differences are wonderful. You don't have to give up, and everybody doesn't have to dress alike, and everybody doesn't have to give up the differences. Let the differences be, but then I know that they ultimately do not matter, because that which is powering these differences is that oneness which is devoid of all differences. This is what is called Sattvika Jnanam. In other words, the only Jnanam which is totally Sattvik is what? Atma Jnanam, self-knowledge. That is the only one that is Sattvik. What is Rajasic knowledge? Prithaktvena tu yajnanam. Nana bhavan prithak vidhan. Vetti sarveshu bhuteshu. Tadjnanam vidhi rajasam. That by which one, whereas tu prithakttvena yajnanam nana bhavan prithak vidhan vetti, that knowledge by which somebody sees everything as inherently different, not apparently different. There is a very big difference. Apparently different means what? Surface, there is a difference, underlying oneness. Here, the person says, everybody is different. These differences cannot be erased. In fact, they are inherent to the very jiva itself. Every jiva has its own karma. Every jiva has its own body. Every jiva has its own purva janmas, antecedents. Every jiva will have what? Its successive janmas. And so therefore, there is no respite from this duality and this manifoldness. Nana vidhan, prithak. Everything is separate. So that knowledge by which one is painfully aware that everything is separate from everything else. And in fact, there is even an inner separation. I am the knower, I am the doer, and I am this, I am that. Many identities conflicting within and without. This knowledge is very painful to keep on keeping the appearance of this being the ultimate reality. Still the person keeps doubting it, and that knowledge is called Rajasam, Rajasic knowledge. Then let us find out what is Tamasic knowledge. Yattu kritsnavade kasmin karye saktamahaitukam atattvarthavadalpam cha tattamasamudakritam. Whereas yattu, that knowledge, yat jnanam, that jnanam is not there because it was already talked about earlier. Yattu kritsnavat Kritsnavat means the totally what? Ekasmin karye means one is totally committed to one particular articulation. Karya means effect. Like one particular body, as in one's own body. One particular mind, as in one's own mind. And there is the commitment, what? This is the reality. This is totally true. As even we can take some objects in nature, hills, river, mountains, all of them are pretty, wonderful. But they take one particular effect, could be really that which is close to oneself, like one's own body, mind, sense complex, and say, this alone is the reality. Oh, but the subtle body is there. Where? Have you seen it? No. Okay. Keep quiet. You don't know it, so don't try to put it on me. There is no subtle body. No, it survives death. Have you survived death? No. Okay. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You haven't survived death. You have no right to lecture me. Yeah, but the Shastra says. What Shastra? Has the Shastra seen? And how can it say? No, Shastra is Pramana. Who says Pramana? What is Pramana? All overrated. My eyes are the Pramana. Such people will only, the Tamasic knower, the Tamasic Jnana, here will only accept eyes or the, what is that, Pratyaksha as the Pramana. Only that which is directly observable is Pramana. Like the Charvaka Mata, the materialistic philosophy, if it can be called that within the brackets. Yavat jivet, sukham jivet, rinam kritvapi, घृतं पिबेत भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य पुनरागमनं कुतः. This is the whole Charvaka philosophy in one sentence. Come on, what is this? You keep talking about subtle body and why are you so obsessed with ghosts? Well, come on, get over it. Subtle body, what you see is what there is, that's all. There is no subtle body, there is no causal body, there is no this body, that body. There is only dead body, that's all. And in fact, they talk about that. And so, yavat jivet, as long as you live, sukham jivet. As long as one lives, live happily. And make sure, even if you have to borrow money, rinam kritvapi, max out your credit card, but have ghee with every meal. Yeah, but who's going to pay it back? What about karma? What about accountability? I told you, where is karma? There's only korma. That's what you should enjoy. There is no karma. There is no karma. Just enjoy. Because once the body is dead and it is consigned to the flames, bhasmi bhutasya dehasya, the body that has now turned into ashes, punaragamanam kutaha, is it going to come back? No, it's not going to come back. If you are not going to come back, then why should you pay back your debts? Why should you be good all the time? There's no need to. You just live as you want. This is tamasic knowledge, all deluded, anti-shastra, anti-everything. And so, this is tamasic knowledge, total commitment. Kritsnavat eka karye, commitment. There is a commitment to just one particular view, one particular, like the body, etc. One object which is everything. Here we just gave the example of body. And then karye saktam means fixated. And how fixated? Ahaitukam means illogically fixated. And then atattvartha. Atattvarthavat means without any truth or without any pushti, without any proof, they are committed to something. And then tat tamasam alpam. Alpam means it's very petty ideas elevated to the level of a philosophy. This is what is called tamasajnanam. Now, what is that? Now we have a topic change. And then now we are going to talk about, having talked about 3 types of jnanam. What are they? Satvik, Tamasic. We are going to do the same exact treatment for karma in verses 23, 24, 25, which is what? The Sattvika karma, Rajasika karma, and then Tamasika karma. And then we are going to do the same thing with the kartas, the word karta. Let us chant. Niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshatah kritam aphala-prepsuna karma yattat sattvikam-uchyate. Yeah, this we have seen many, many times. Niyatam here doesn't mean always. Niyatam means nitya karma. Niyatam karma. And then, so niyatam karma, nitya karma, and then which is what vihita karma, which is talked by the Shastras, which is recommended to be done by the Shastras. The one who does that which is done sangarahitam, without any kind of an attachment for what? Either the karma or the karta or the results of karma. And attachment in the form of raga-dvesha is also not there. Araga-dvesham. The is put to deny both raga and dvesha. Raga-dvesha vihitam. Without raga-dvesha, the presence of raga-dvesha, that which is done further. What? Lastly, aphala-prepsuna. Prepsu, very interesting. So first it is aap. Aap means what? Not Hindi aap. Okay. Sanskritam aap, to gain. So aap in the desiderative becomes eep. Okay. Eeps. Eepsa. The desire to gain is called eepsa. Pra plus eep, prep. Prepsa. And then the one who has the desire to gain, prepsu, like jignasu, mumukshu, bubhutsu, bubhukshu, all those desiderative agent nouns. So prepsu, and then prepsu declines just like guru. Guruna, prepsuna, by the prepsu. Aphala-prepsuna kritam karma. So the one who is not wanting the fruits of action, not desirous of obtaining the fruits of action, by such a person when the karma is done, that karma is called what? Sattvika karma. So Sattvika karma has two conditions. It does not shy away from what needs to, three conditions. One, it does not shy away from what needs to be done. It does not have a, it is free of raga dvesha, and thirdly, it is free of desirous or desiring or attachment to the results of action. Then such a karma is called sattvika karma. Rajasika karma, etc. we will see tonight at 7:45. Yeah. So I have suspended the Taittiriya classes so that you will have time to, what is happening on the 28th? Cultural. So you can practice. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari